awesome. I was testing 1, 2, 3. Ha ha! Wow. Bummer. Well, I was testing 1, 2, 3 because Joel was kind enough to spend time with me this week and try to get these audio and everything settings right. So I think we got it right. Beep, 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 beep. Ah-roo! Y'all, holy frijoles, guacamoles, I don't know, holy everything this morning because there is like, if you could see the hair, which, you know, now that I'm at my age is a lot more considerable on my arms and whatnot, it is standing straight up because there is, and even on top of that, I don't know, I don't even know what I was doing, but I was called to snatch this big old quartz off of one of my shelves. Like the energy needs to be amped up, but I don't even know. I just want to do all of today's live with this right here. If I could figure out a way to strap this puppy to my third eye, that's what we would be doing this morning. Honest to goodness, like a miner. Like I'd be like, oh, or maybe like a unicorn. That's it. If I could strap this to my head like a unicorn, we'd be all set for the day. So, y'all better strap in for the ride. Good morning, everybody. Y'all better strap in for the ride because the messages, you got to see it to believe it. You got to see it, hear it, experience it to believe it. And you better believe that's what's happening up at her this morning. So, oh God, Kelly, oh God, what did I miss? Nothing yet except for me losing my mind and saying testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Anyway, crazy nonsense. So let me just say this. First of all, y'all, please give a big shout out to my moderators in no particular order. Maureen, Teapot, Maureen. Amy is no longer on the list of moderators. She's like, I don't ever really moderate. Maureen and Teapot got this. I'm like, oh, that's true. But anyway, Amy's always around. She's my right hand around my office and stuff. And so if y'all ever have a question or something that you need, please remember you can catch us at Howl at wildpackwisdom.com. Howl, Howl, wildpackwisdom.com. Please ignore the skeezy spammers. The skeezy, trolls that come on, and you're always going to know them because they're always going to ask you to inbox them, and they're always going to, that's none of my people. Y'all, we're cheesy, like we're Chester Cheetah cheesy right up in here in a fun way, but we're not Chester Cheetah cheesy in terms of that kind of stuff. We're just not that kind of cheesy. So, I will tell you all, if you have a favorite crystal sitting beside you, let's set the intention of one that's going to allow you to hear this expansive message today, because it is about the expansion. Or if you're feeling like you're already kind of floaty out there, one that's going to help ground you, because the messages are big, they are fast, they are coming in hard, and yeah, we're going to get to it. So also, I really appreciate y'all that when I asked earlier in the week for y'all to be sharing I got my country going on up in here today. For you wonderful people to graciously share, my channel, my videos, the readings, whatever, on your social media channels. Some of y'all did, and I appreciate it more than I can tell you. And I'm really hoping that you'll help spread the word even more. Even if you have a newsletter, I'd love to be sent out in your newsletter. You can also ping me. I'd love to, treat you in kind, basically. And I'd love for us all to have like just a big group of even more support, even more past the readings and everything. And let me just say something about these readings. So the format, I announced the format. And also, please, if you haven't subscribed, ooh, wow, Lily's got a Lemurian seed crystal. Woo! Miriam's got her she's got her lapis. Wow, yeah. Wowzers. Oh, good morning, Lisa. Y'all. Ooh, please, I'm begging you. You don't have to be there Sunday morning. It's a pre-recorded. The Sunday ceremony is pre-recorded. You can do it anytime, but I'm begging you. I am begging you. When you first of all, watch the Sunday video. That's number one, because my friend Lisa Snyder has pre-recorded this ancestral ancient wisdom healing. I'm telling you, y'all know I don't endorse very much. I'm just not an endorser. I get asked all the time, but I only endorse the things that I truly, in my heart, deep in my heart, believe, deep in my soul, deep up in my spirit, I believe are going to really, be beneficial and be helpful, and, that y'all would really enjoy. And Lisa's healings, y'all, I'm telling you, you ain't seen nothing yet. Bum, bum, ba, 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 baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. So, but make sure that you're sitting or laying in a place where you can't fall over, or don't do it when you're driving. Do not do it when you're driving. So anyway, also, if you're here with us this morning, welcome new people, new Wild Pack people. And I welcome new people. Welcome. And to my long time subscribers, thank you so much. I love you. And but if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the ring dingy bell thingy, and you will get all the notifications right up front. And so I just want to talk about the format that it's always going to be on Fridays. And I want to thank you all very much, because I just know, well, I know because Spirit told me, the animals told me, as a collective, you all want readings just as much as you want to learn for yourself. And so that's why Wednesdays and Fridays, they're readings for sure. But the deep dive into the individual card or the animal or the aura or the chakra or the number or the whatever, that is additional. And the point of it is that there is something, and I know this from today's reading, you're going to flip out when you see these cards on this day of all days, Friday, the throat chakra day, right? So, I bet if each one of y'all, if I could send you everyone like a little, poll, every single one of you would say, I'm looking to expand some area of my life. I'm looking to elevate in some area of my life. Well, let me tell you something. Congratulations, you're the winner today. Whether you know it or not, whether you can see it or not, we are the champions. We are the champions, because sweet bejeebus. So what I want to do is, I want to spend time on each card. And then, because it is a reading, like whatever you needed to know about today, even if you're listening to this, this thing about any one of the cards that have come for today, you could be a year from now. Like, let's say you're a new person and you just find this reading a year from now. These cards are meant for you in this moment. So I'm going to talk about each card, and then like after each card, if y'all have any questions, then go ahead and put them in the chat. I'll get to as many people as I can about that particular card. Then I'll move on to the next card. We'll talk about that card, take any questions you might have about that card or how it pertains to your life or situation. I'll get to as many as I can, and then we'll do the wrap up. So I'm going to tell y'all a little story actually, I'm going to show you the cards, and then we're going to start out this reading, because I hope you're sitting down, because this is going to blow your socks off. If you're wearing socks, whatever you got, it's going to blow it off. And I'm going to drink, y'all are going to see, I'm surprised I don't have like intravenous, like bottled water tapped into my veins today. The energy's already going so high. I got cotton mouth this morning. So, and it only ever happens on the lives. It's craziness. Okay. So everybody take a second. And focus on what it is that you most want guidance on today, that you most want a psychic message, a tarot message, whatever, just take a second and just still your mind and focus on it, and send it to me and the Animal Allies, but also send it to the tarot, right? Because the tarot is an entity. And because I use the Rider-Waite Smith deck, meaning, I use my own deck, the Archanimal Tarot and Oracle deck, but it is a for real tarot deck, just like it's a for real shamanic healing deck, just like it's a for real shamanic journeying deck. And so anyway, just focus on it and ask the archetypes of the tarot, ask the Animal Allies, ask, just what do they, that's right, Teapot. Oh my God, I just can't get enough water this morning. I must have had a gallon already in it. Let me just get to it. Okay. First of all, the World card, the macaw. I wish we were in Vegas. We would be winning fat jackpots if we were in Vegas. the Ten of Pentacles. Piggies, Ten of Pentacles. And by the way, if my eyes look a little bit tired, I don't have any mascara on. I got some weird autoimmune thing going on with my eyes this morning. I feel perfectly fine, but I look like, I don't know, I look like I haven't slept in 5 days. But I actually have. Okay, and then we've got Beaver, the Seven of Cups inverted. Now, this is not a bad thing. This is actually a really good thing. And so here's the bottom line. At the end of the day, we could all be done and just go for morning margaritas, because your entire, the daily pick a card tarot reading could be summed up in 2 sentences. Whatever it is that's on your mind, not only is it going to have a fantastic outcome, but it's going to be more fantasticer than you can, like, if you're dreaming about something, if you're dreaming about, or you really want some kind of outcome, you ain't dreaming big enough. You don't have the belief, the faith, the whatever big enough at this moment. So get with the program and expand your beliefs, expand your want, expand your whatever, and absolutely do not put a glass ceiling on yourself about anything, because ginormous is coming to you. And in particular, I'm going to get into the World Tarot card and its traditional meanings and all of that. I'm going to get into that in a minute, but I'm going to tell you a story that goes along with this card. So hola, Maria Colon, ¿cómo estás? Oh, by the way, y'all, Maria Colon, she has started this new pagan Wiccan witch site. This thing is, other than my own, witchcraftandwitches.com, that I built for the pagan Wiccan witch community. Let me tell y'all something. This lady, she's got it going on. Maria, put in the chat, I don't remember the name of your site, because you're going to change the name of your site. I know you are. But put in the name in the chat what the name of your site is. She's just beginning, so there's, it's a beginning site, but you're going to want to follow her. I don't think I've ever seen art like this in the pagan Wiccan witch space. I don't think I've ever seen it. It is unusual, and it's crazy good. So anyway, good morning, Maria. I hope everything is working out for you and your family. So let's talk about this card for a minute. Okay, so I'm going to get into the tarot card meanings of the World card, but the first message that I'm to give you all is, a rainbow and a beautiful, colorful macaw wanted to be this card. Now, some of this, I do believe, are a little personal to me, but I didn't get that when this macaw, because listen to this. I was looking for an animal to go on the cover of the Ark, and I had already been told it was going to be a big cat. I'm looking at big cats all over the place. And in the search engine of the, one of the services, I had typed in all kinds of keywords that had nothing to do with birds, and it had nothing to do with rainbows. And this macaw popped up in the middle of like panthers and jaguars and lions and tigers. Oh my, right? And I'm like, I looked at that card, I looked at this animal, and I went, what are you doing there? And this macaw turned its head around to me and said, because I'm the world. Now, there's a whole long backstory to parrots, macaws, that kind of thing that has to do with my most recent ex-husband. I've only had 2, so don't get all excited. And he's a parrot head. He's a Jimmy Buffett fan. And so we listened to a lot of Jimmy Buffett music. We had a lot of parrots all over our house, that kind of thing. So I sat with it for a long time, because the situation that was going on at the time, a wonderful situation, but I was like, I'm wondering if it's not me, and I never want to insert me into what's supposed to be for the collective. You get, it's not all about me. It's all about all of us. So I sat with it for a while, a few weeks, as a matter of fact, and this dang bird kept popping up over and over and over again. So finally it became the World card. Well, here's the backstory of this, and here's why this matters to you in this moment. I don't care what's on your mind. I don't care what you need. I mean, I care, but okay. So, my ex-husband works for a local utility, and there came an opportunity for him to, there came a position open where he could apply, because they have to apply in their company. They don't just pick people randomly from within. They make it a whole application thing. And he could apply for a position that was like 2 or 3 jumps above the position he was in. So he wanted to do it, and he said, he came home one day and he goes, I got to talk to you about something. I'm like, okay. He said, so I would only get a 5% raise if I got this job. And I said, okay, what, okay, how do you feel about that? Because I don't feel any kind of way. He said, I'm not willing to do that job for only 5% more. I said, excellent. Okay. Only you're going to know your value. You've always said that you're underpaid at this job because it's Florida, it's this, it's that, it's whatever. He goes, yeah. He said, I just want to know that you were okay with it, me walking away from extra money. And I was like, what, 5%, you know, you do really well, but what's 5% going to be? I mean, come on now. So, so he thought about it for a few days, and so did I. And I went back to him and I said, listen, I said, my guides, which I know you don't believe in, are telling me that that 5% is not hard and fast. That's not a rule. And he said, no, it's not. I said, well, why did you present it as a rule? It's not a rule. He said, well, you know, because people just don't normally get more than 5%. I said, who cares what people normally get? You're you, and this is your situation. I said, I would give you the advice that you should get on Monster Jobs or wherever and research what positions like that get in salary across the country. Average it out and then say, you know, I'll do that job for the average of what it is, and here's the documentation of what it is around the country. Oh no, pardon me, y'all. Oh no, you can't buck up against a system like that. You don't understand. You've never worked in corporate America. This is Florida. This is Gainesville. I heard every excuse in the world why he wasn't even going to ask. I said, well, it's your life. You do what you want. I said, it's our life, and this is not about the money for me anymore. Now it's about why you are unwilling to, why you are making all kind of excuses for what you know you're worth. What is standing between your throat chakra? He said, please don't talk about that kind of stuff. We're talking about real things here. That's how because he doesn't think of metaphysics as real, right? He said, let's stay in reality. I said, this is my reality. And I said, I would invite you to think about that. Well, the way my ex-husband thinks is he grabs a few beers and he jumps in the pool and he plays Jimmy Buffett music, and that's his thinking place. So he came back a couple days later. He said, all right. He said, I researched it, and here's how much is the median, and it is a 19.5% more than what I make now. I said, then tell them you will take the job if you're offered it, which I absolutely know you will be. You tell them yes for 19.5% more. So he was pale as a ghost when he went in that next morning, because he had a meeting with HR, and he didn't know what it was all about, but they did offer him the job, and he called, and he's like, oh, they offered me the job. Now what do I do? I said, we just have this conversation. So the next week he went into a meeting, and they slid, he accepted, he said, they were, you know, offering him the position, like, and let's get your contract signed, so on and so forth. So HR person slides a contract over to him, and he looks down at the contract, and big as life, it read only 5%. So he calls me after the meeting, and basically what happened was he pushed the contract back, and he said, we haven't talked about salary. And the HR person said, well, it's the standard 5%. He said, yeah, it might be the standard 5%, but there's no rule at this company that says you can only get 5%. What it states, and he of course stated the paragraph in the, you know, wherever it was in the bylaws and all that, it is a minimum of 5%. And I'm sorry, but I'm just not willing to take on the extra responsibility and this and that, especially with my background and my expertise. And, you know, he said, I'm not some new kid walking through the door. I'm requesting 19.5%. The HR person fell out of their chair. But it was incumbent upon the HR person to take his counter offer to the superiors. And so that's what they did. Well, unbeknownst to my ex-husband, there are tiers. If you ask for X amount more than 5%, only this person has to approve it. If you ask for this amount more than this percent, this person has to approve it. Well, the percentage he asked for had to be approved by the president of the local utility. So there went his counter offer to the president of the local utility. And guess what happened? The president of the local utility approved his 19.5%. And he's now a legend. I mean, people are still talking about this. This is 7 years ago, y'all. 7 years ago. And he's still a legend. Well, just yesterday, because his the head of his department is retiring. And so he applied for the position. And of course they called him and said, yeah, so you got it. Not only did you get it, but like there, nobody else even held a candle to you. So he's going to go through the whole process again. And so he's like, what do you think I should ask for this time? And I'm like, I think you should ask for anything that was the same process last time. And I said, you may not want to go for the gusto like you did last time, because I don't know that there's any reason for it. And in these times, I don't know that it would get approved. But a standard 5%, I don't think so. So what this has to do with you all is two things. Y'all, please know your worth. And if you don't know your worth, I don't know, ask someone to help you see that. Get your trusted people that you know are your friends and will tell you that you're invaluable, you're priceless, because you are. We're all priceless. Okay, that's a given. Now ramp it down to a price. Meaning, you're not going to get the Hope Diamond for whatever you're doing, because you are the Hope Diamond. See the diff? It's like, whatever your value is, don't be afraid to ask for it. Don't be afraid to voice it to yourself first, and then to anyone else. Throat chakra, value, what are you worth? What is your time worth? What is your knowledge worth? What is your skill worth? I do a really dumb thing. It's not dumb to me. It's not dumb to me. But when people, when I, let's say I'm hiring a gardener or just, anybody, and they tell me a rate, I'll be able to see when they tell me that rate, if that's the rate that they're truly happy with, or if they're just uncomfortable asking for what they know they really want to make. And if they're uncomfortable, or I know that they're undervalued, and I'll say no, and I can't agree to that. And they'll look at me, and I'll go, no, I think you're worth more than this. I think what you bring to the table, so here's my counter offer. You should see the looks on people's faces. Now that's priceless, but I feel better about it, because I'm just not the kind of person that can go, sucker. I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. And karmically, great googly moogly, the gifts that I've gotten. So at the end of the day, here's the story. That every bit of that has to do with tarot card meanings of the World card. It really is about that, because this card is the last card of the 22 cards of the major arcana. And the major arcana is about our journey. That is the hero's journey, right? The hero sets out on a mission. The hero learns so much along the way. The hero fails, the tower, the devil, the this, the that, triumphantly the hero rises again. Now we're on in the judgment card, and the judgment card is you did okay. And then we get the World card. So the macaw really wanted to be the World card because it's a rainbow. And yeah, rainbow, listen, rainbows are, they're deeply meaningful, but they've become such a joke to people on so many different levels that people don't take them seriously anymore. And once upon a time in history, especially in the Celtic, Irish, English, in their culture, rainbows, they were meaningful, because somewhere at the end of that rainbow was your pot of gold, and they really believed that. And I really believe it too. Why do I believe that? Well, because what happens when you bring the entire color spectrum, and I'm not talking about race, and I'm not talking about all that kind of thing. I'm talking about holistic. This is a holistic thing. You're bringing all kinds of things into creating like a melange, if you will. And anytime you take a look at something holistically and you treat it holistically, look at every possible anything to it, it is, hey Maria, please post the link here in the chat. Just post it here in the chat, not the forums yet. I'll talk to you about that, and I'll talk to you about that later, but post it here in the chat. So it is about really taking a look at all pieces of the puzzle. And if you feel like you're not seeing all the pieces, I would really ask someone for their help. Ask someone for their opinion, their perspective, their advice. And when you talk about the macaw, this is Even if this card is inverted, it's sacred contracts, it's infinite possibilities, it's new beginnings. It's a whole new world. Now, it may be more of the same. Let's say that you have a bakery. Let's say, oh, Satya! Oh my gosh, you guys say hi to Satya Bama. She's here. Oh, good morning. Satya is the daughter that I never had. She lives in India. I've known her for a number of years. She's an amazing, amazing graphic artist when you need, like, especially utility stuff done. She's amazing. And she's a new mommy. She just had a baby like 5 months ago. I think Satya's baby is 5 months old. And I'm going to get to India, maybe not, I think next year, maybe, but if not, for sure the year after. And we're going to party like it's 1995. It's going to be crazy, crazy, crazy good. So everybody say, hi, Satya. That's why she's saying, hi, Mom, is because, oh my God, good morning, honey. I love you so much. Okay. Oh, the tarot and medium goddess. No, you're not. You're the devil. You ain't no goddess, because if you were a goddess, you wouldn't be doing stuff like that. Sub for free reading. And I appreciate that you love my cards, but I do not appreciate the free reading thing. See ya. All right, hold on. Gotta ban them. Bye-bye. Okay. Gonzola. What? Boy, people think they're slick, don't they? You gotta go some to get one past me. I gotta tell you. Okay. Okay, yep, bye-bye. All right. So, right, Allison, well, this all makes so much sense on the heels of the last eclipse. Totally. Now, here's the story. When you want to talk about, and I'm going to spend a little more time on the world card, when you want to talk about the traditional meanings, you know, the tarot card meanings of, and remember, y'all, my deck, the Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck, is based on the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, okay? So all of the traditional meanings are relevant, and then you also include the meanings of that particular animal, bird, whatever. Okay, so if you take a look at the symbolism, you know, you've got the dancer. She's just perfectly balanced, and she's suspended in midair. Everything is effortless for her. She's encased, you know, circled by the sacred circle, which is a winter's wreath. It's laurel. And then you've got, you know, the four critters on the side. So remember, when you've got a wreath, when you've got anything circular that begins, you don't know where it begins and you don't know that it ends. What that means is whatever this new beginning, whatever these infinite possibilities, whatever this sacred contract is that you're thinking about, whatever that you want to expand, elevate, it's eternal. So what you're setting into motion at this moment is eternal. So for instance, I'm like, well, why are you doing that? Well, I just want people, you know, to remember me or to know my name even after I'm dead. I want to leave a legacy. Why? Why do you want to leave a legacy? Why? I have never understood that. I want to hopefully be able to bring knowledge and hope and healing and support 50 years from now with all the tarot card stuff and all the free, you know, evergreen information that I put on my channel, you know, that will always be relevant to people. I hope that's what we're creating here, which is what you all are creating when you participate, which is, you know, I thank you so much. When you ask questions about things, because future people, they're going to have those same questions, right? And it will be very helpful to them. So all that said, the universe is conspiring with you. There is just, between this and the Ten of Pentacles, and then, you know, the Seven of Cups inverted, you're just being called to just take a breath. You know that you're going to be successful, period. And that success is going to keep riding out. So now you've got the dancer wearing red, or the red ribbons around the wreath. You're an infinite soul. You've got that red, that fire, that passion of the root chakra up under you. And the world tarot card is associated with the Hebrew letter Tav, and that represents the flow of energy between the earthly and the lunar consciousness, which you'll see symbolized by the twinkling stars. If you've ever noticed, there are twinkling stars in the winner's crown, right? Okay. So, or in the winner's wreath, I should say. So it also, Tav marks the beginning of what ceremonial magicians call the great work. So for instance, I love me some Arc Tarot. I do. Pardon me, y'all. I think I might have to move this crystal. I feel like I'm floaty. Like I feel like I'm in another world. Give me a second. Let me just bring myself back here. I went way up to those stars. Woof, lordy. Okay. Whatever this is that you're looking to do, it's your sacred contract. Again, I love me some Arc Animal Tarot, and honest to goodness, I really thought that was going to be my opus. That was it. The Arc is my opus. I'll do these other books and these other decks in love, but the Arc is my opus. Here's what I've come to know. What a big dummy I can be sometimes. Y'all, you can have more than one opus. You know, an opus is supposed to be your great work. Why can't you have a whole bunch of other great works? Because I'm telling you now, when you see this book, there is nothing like it in the entire world. Nothing. And I'm not saying there will never be anything like it, but you're going to have to go some. Not you, but anybody's going to have to go some to put this kind of body of work together to honor shamanism and the spirit animal guides. And I'm telling you, what we've got, what's coming, it's not that I'm proud of it. I'm so deeply honored to be the vessel of it, because it is going to revolutionize, just like the Arc Tarot, it's going to revolutionize how people work with spirit, totem, power animal energies, how they work with animal communication. It's craziness. And so when you take a look at, I want to go, and that reminds me now to go to the 4 critters, realize that the 4 critters that are in the 4 corners, the air, or the angel, that's Aquarius, that's the air. Eagle is Scorpio, water, lion, Leo, fire, bull, Taurus, earth. So you've got air, water, fire, earth. You've got the symbolism of an angel. You've got the symbolism of the eagle, the lion, the bull, and what she's showing you with this effortless dancing, right? And she's completely naked, which means that, especially I just wish I could give everybody a hug right now and just like talk to each one of you individually in your eyes, just look you like right in the eye, like look you in the eye and go, listen, you, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, what you want to have, it's sacred. You're being called. Please do it. Stop making the excuses. Stop being scared. Stop. Just stop. And all of this can have to do with it may not have anything to do with what you want to create on the outside. It may have to do with what you want to create on the inside, which is why she's dancing up there, in all of her glory, naked as a jaybird, because she's got nothing to hide. There's no shame. Y'all, I talk to readers every day, clients every day, and they want to be a reader. They want to be like, they want to give readings and they want to do healings. And I'm like, why are you whispering? Well, I don't want anybody to hear me. I'm like, what are you talking to me on the bus? Like, are you at a cubicle at work? No, I'm at my house all alone. I'm like, well, who do you think is going to hear you? Well, I don't know. And I'm just like, okay, that's scared, right? Like, they don't want to come out of the closet because of their family or their friends or whatever. Okay, you're done. You're done with that. You are done with that. You're done. Okay. So that said, going back to the tarot card meanings, for the world card, now she's effortless, right? But if you take a look at her face, she's got let's talk about the white rods in each hand. The rods are polar opposites. They're positive and negative, light and dark. And what that means is she's balanced that inner world and outer world perfectly. And again, this can go back to, this may not be anything that you want to create in this lifetime other than yourself, which is like, that truly will be an opus. That truly is an opus. There's only one of you here and now. I mean, there's all of you, because we're all each other, and each other is all us, and you get it, right? But let's say that you've got something about you that like me and mine is my sugar addiction and the temper that I worked so diligently at over the years. It takes a lot, y'all, to get me riled. A lot. And no one wants to see that, but it's like a Taurus, right? I mean, if you talk to a Taurus, it may take a bit, but you don't ever, even Bernadette stays away from Taurians when they're angry. I'm like, oh, look at the time. I got to go. So there's that. Now, that having said that, let me say this. It's fun. She's having a good time. Look at her. She's a dancing queen, right? Whoop, whoop, whoop. She's even got batons. Who knows? She may be even tossing those batons up like the universe's majorette, catching them, putting them behind her back, doing all that kind of stuff. Maybe they're fire torches, right? She's a fire dancer, like in the Hawaiian culture, right? Okay, I tried that one time. It went very badly, by the way. Beer might have been involved, and it went very badly. I had to cut my hair. But anyway, I'll tell you all that story another time. It was hilarious. Anyway, because I was bitter that I didn't get to be a majorette. Girl, nobody was going to pick me as a majorette in high school. I couldn't even twirl a baton, much less anything else that was not majorette-like. Okay, so here's the story. But look at her face. There's just a flurry of activity going on, and her face is intensely concentrated. She's engaged in a lot of fun. She feels free to do whatever she wants to do. But even her most minute gesture has a purpose. Every step she takes, every thought she has, everything she says is moving toward what she wants. What is it that you want to bring, not to closure, right? No matter what you want, it's never closed. It's never over. Ever. Ever. That's one of my favorite things is when people say, I've closed that chapter in my life. Okay, what does that mean? Well, it's done. It's over with. I don't even think about it. Yeah, you do. Of course you do. Because it's in your DNA. And until you figure out how to squeaky clean your DNA, I don't know of a way to do that. I don't know that there is a way to do that. That's why it's called the collective conscious. That's why it's called the Akashic records. Once something's said and done, you don't get to take it back. You don't get to unthink it, unfeel it, unsee it. You might be able to undo it and maybe heal it with inside of yourself or with someone else or whatever, but that's it. It's done. I wish we all for real knew that when we were kids. And we for real knew that and lived, y'all's parents may have raised you in a conscious manner. Mine didn't. She didn't know anything about this stuff. She was a product of the 30s, 40s, and 50s. There was right, there was wrong, and you didn't do anything other than that. You didn't think about anything other than that. That's it. Right and wrong, period. Okay. So every day in every way, the World Tarot card is asking you, and again, remember, Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, this is Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot symbolism, right? You may believe or work with a different system, but this is what this card is it's symbolic meaning. That's what this is all about. Now, she's having a lot of fun. But it's kind of that same thing as like in Mary Poppins when Mary is on the kids about cleaning up their room and they're like, and she like makes up that song and then it's a lot of fun. Okay. So the Kabbalists call the World Tarot card the administrative intelligence. So let's be really clear about one thing with this card. Oh, I love it when this card comes out in readings, and it almost never does because it is such a whole whoa kind of thing, like the heavens open up and the angels sing. It's that kind of card. Okay, so the administrative intelligence means you got a lot of stuff to do. You got a lot on your plate. You're going to have to make decisions. You're going to have to be the boss of you. You're going to have to be the boss of the world surrounding you. But it's natural. You know what to do. You know what's happening. And if y'all hear the dingy dingy, that's my laundry, because my laundry room is on the other side of that wall. I hope that doesn't take the magic away. Everybody's got to do laundry, right? So all of that being said, you have earth, air, fire, water around you. You'll be drawing from that wisdom, drawing from that strength. It'll be infusing you, right? It'll be inside of you. Remember also that winner's wreath, most wreaths are round, right? If you look at a winner's wreath of pretty much anything, when they give them out, they're round. But this one is oval because it symbolizes the cosmic egg. That's the world egg in the Greek myth. And that is, it's an egg, y'all. I mean, I know you know the symbolism of eggs, new life, new beginnings. Maybe the egg is fragile, but what's coming from the inside is it's life. And that in and of itself is just the most astounding thing. Do y'all know what has to, have you ever watched one of those science videos about what actually has to happen to make a baby of any kind? Like, that's why they call it, that's why a lot of us are like, when we see other people and we're having a spiritual conversation, if we're vibing with them, we're like, I'm so proud of you for doing what it took to incarnate into this world, because it's not an easy task. Once you decide on the other side, you're going to incarnate into this 3D reality, you got to my understanding, you got to shove other spirits out of the way, because everybody wants, not everybody, but a lot of souls, a lot of spirits want to experience the human experience. And so here we are. Okay, let's move on. So the dancer's scarf is the old karma. It's already sliding off her body. And I love that. I love that symbolic meaning, because so many people say to me and have said to me over the years, I screwed up as a kid. I married the wrong person. I made the wrong decision. So this is out of reach for me now. Why? No one can ever give me a reason. They'll tell me stuff, but they're not real reasons. They're excuses. And there's a difference between a reason and an excuse. A huge, huge difference. A difference between a reason and an excuse. Please remember that. Okay. When the karma is gone, when she just completely lets that scarf fall off her body, that's it. That's when the cosmic egg goes crack and everything hatches. And then you discard the temporary shell and you've got a whole new world. Do not make me sing Disney tunes this morning. I'm not warmed up. I don't even know what it'll come out like, so don't make me sing it. Okay. So the thing is you can be super aware of the physical world. You can do well and be comfortable and be happy in the physical world, even though you probably have a sense in your spirit that the other world is like way more funner. Okay. But there you go. So really the question when you take a look at the World Tarot card is, okay, I'm here. I'm ready. We're making it happen. I'm, ta-da. What's next? Okay. When the World Tarot card shows upright in a tarot reading like it did today, that really is a time for you to say, yay me, and give yourself some credit. And then all that you know about what the World Tarot card signifies, it's already set in motion. You're already doing it, but you've got to trust, because that's what this card symbolizes and signifies. It's an omen, if you will. It's a prognostication, if you will. You're ready. You're totally ready. You're so prepared. You're fixing to go on this grand adventure, and it's just going to be crazy and beautiful, right? So your bags are packed. That's it. You're leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when you'll be back again. Don't make me sing that either. Okay, so moving on. I hope that's helpful. Oh wait, no, let me not move on. Does anybody have any questions about Sing It Girl, right? Okay. Does anybody have a whole new world? That's the best I can do when I'm not warmed up. And I got dry mouth. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Not on these jet planes. Have y'all seen ticket prices? You don't want to talk about gouging? Hey, it's not the public's fault that there was a pandemic. How dare you, American Airlines, or how dare you, Delta? You guys, forget it. I'm driving everywhere I go. I ain't paying those prices. And that's just that. It's gouging. I don't know why they're allowed to do it. Anyway. All right. Does anybody timing for your new world? Valerie Wolf. Roo! Lisa, you never heard me sing before? Girl, it ain't amazing. Listen, I'm a torch song singer. There's not a whole lot to that. I can be really loud and resonant, but timing, Valerie. I keep hearing the number 3. And so, which is interestingly a divine triad. I feel like there are 2 things that are kind of sort of already in place. There's a third thing that has to fall into place. And as soon as that third thing happens, you're on the move. And that's what I'm hearing, on the move. So I'm also being told, Valerie Wolf, that you can expedite that third thing that's supposed to happen to make the divine triad, the Holy Trinity, and get gone. But you're thinking, you just haven't given it enough effort yet. You got to put some more effort into that third thing. Misty Bronner, what is wrong with you? Why are you trying to scam people? What is wrong in your spirit that you have to be a gross person? I'm saying a prayer for you, and I'm sending a thing of black flies to you. So you got to go. Bye, Misty Bronner. Although whoever it was that said no thank you, you're a nicer person than I am. A way nicer person. Hold on. Let me get Misty Bronner gone. Gonzola. Gonzola. Okay. Jam on it. Jam on it. Okay. So that's the answer, Valerie Wolf. Okay. Any of Kelly. Aladdin. I know. I cannot watch Aladdin because if I start, and the other one is what's the one? Running the Pine Trails of the Forest, the Blue Corn Moon. No. I can't watch that, or I'll have those in my head for all week. Okay. So you gotta go. Bye, Melinda. I made it back. Yay. Okay. I'm still in line to find someone smart. You know, you're not even in line. You're already at the head of the line, Nikki Anderson. You're at the head of the line, and it's not smart. See, that's the issue there, Nikki. Is remember what we were talking about earlier about the world card. You don't want smart. Smart's not enough. It's got to be supra intelligent, but we're talking about all the intelligences that you have. You are super emotionally intelligent. You are super like just stuff intelligent. You're spiritually intelligent. You've got so many different kinds of intelligences that you're at a very high level with. That's the whole point of the world card. You got to stop asking for somebody smart. You got to stop thinking somebody or believing that somebody smart is coming in, and it's going to be someone super intelligent that doesn't also come with some of the quirks that super intelligent people can. And what I mean by that is, and Nikki, you'll be able to back me up on this because, hey, Lavinna, I'm trying to get to as many people as possible, and so I'm trying. The chat's going really fast. Pocahontas, thank you, Itzia. So put your question in there again. I will try to get to it if I see it. Okay. So all of that being said, Nikki, that's what you got to do. You can't. Oh, also, Nikki, you'll back me up. You're a psychiatrist, I think. Psychologist, counselor, psychiatry, something like that. You'll know that a lot of the time, the higher the intelligence, like especially when you get to the 160s range, that kind of thing, they also have some personality quirks, maybe borderline on some spectrums. I didn't find that out. Until I was well into my late 40s, and it changed a lot of things in my life because I was feeling pretty bad about myself around about then, and it changed a lot in my life. Yeah, my ex-husband, he really does have like a for real genius IQ, and he is I used to call him Spectrum Boy. So anyway, jam on it, get it, Share Cat. Okay, Puff the Magic Dragon lives by the sea. You're fun too because your name is Dragon Puff. We all know what that means. Are we making? Okay, somebody said, oh gosh, I don't want to mess your name up. Lebogang Setholi. Gosh, I'm so sorry. Can you please get a reading about your spiritual journey, honey? This entire thing is about your spiritual journey. So and I'm not being flip. I'm telling you, this is the perfect card. The world card has come out for you and everybody else today. So please watch the beginning of this video. Please look up the World Tarot card because that's where you're at on your spiritual journey, and that's an amazing thing. Okay, Colors of the Wind. I know. Are we making the right decisions thus far, Stephanie? I don't know who we is. You're not. I love you, and I'm sorry to call you out like that, but you're not because you haven't taken control yet. What I'm being shown is you got to step up, and you got to be bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. You've got to be bad to the bone. Like, enough with other people's nonsense and stop trying to people please. You know what should be done. And you're just like, oh, well, you know, we all should this. And you're just afraid to step up and go, listen, stop it. We're going to do this. They will follow your lead, but you got to step into your power, sister. What does it mean to see a hawk for 3 days? So, Maria, today's reading is about these cards. So I'm going to tell you that if you've seen a hawk for 3 days constantly or consistently, and then you've shown up and you've gotten the world card, that's the hawk's trying to tell you the same thing. That major success is coming your way, but you got to focus. Okay. Energy feels lighter today. Yeah, it was pretty heavy energy on Wednesday, Lisa, because it was like, yeah. Okay. I don't do that kind of thing, Lavina. This is not that kind of reading. When will my second marriage happen? You need an astrologer for that. Astrologers are great with that. Lavina, please stop asking the question more than once. We got it. Maya, you might be late to the game, but the whole thing today is about a reading. Um, Hawks are first. I love you, Nikki Anderson. Okay, I'm looking for the last question. Lavina, please stop asking the same question over and over again. I'll have to remove you from the chat. Please. No, don't be sorry, Maria. That's what I'm saying. Because this reading is about that, Hawk is going to mean that for you today. Oh, bye, Allison. Okay, Lisa, working through a lot of shadow work and I'm feeling my power. I think I'm ready to step in my power. That's not a question, but you're right. You're so right. That's what this reading is all about today. Okay, I'm moving on to the next card. Okay, so now we're going to talk about what the pig means as the Ten of Pentacles. Now, when you take a look at the traditional tarot card meanings of the Ten of Pentacles, it's about family. Now, when this card is upright, okay, when this tarot card is upright, which it is in this reading today, you're talking about family and true wealth. And you're talking about it. It's not just a money card, though it is a money card. And so, like, for instance, the way that I equate the Ten of Pentacles is that all the wild pack is my true family. Like, I have never in my life felt more included. Well, that's not true. There's only one other group that has made me feel accepted and included, and I knew it was the real deal, and that's the wild pack, and it's also the pagan Wiccan community. There are other spiritual communities that are so busy trying to be more spiritual than the next person that they're the most judgmental, backbiting people on the planet. I ain't trying to have that. I'm a country girl. I'm simple. I really am. Things for me are real simple. My ex-husbands and boyfriends won't tell you that, but it's true. And so really, I always see, not because of me, but I really see the Ten of Pentacles as a simplicity card. It is what it is. That said, what that means is you've got to go where you're celebrated, because you've got to be around the family that is that brings you the wealth of spirit, the wealth of feeling of safety, the wealth that the feeling that you can say anything to them, that they're not going to judge you, that they're going to be like if you jump up tomorrow and you're like, well, I want to be a neurosurgeon, or I think I want to get a divorce, or maybe you're ready to come, proverbially out of the closet and live life the way that you've always wanted to live it and have been hiding it for some reason. Mate, I could do this list from now to the end of time. It doesn't matter. The point is that it's time for you to be surrounded by the family that brings you the wealth. Now, that said, this is how the Ten of Pentacles in this reading ties into the World card, because it is time for you to step out. It is time for you to realize that you've got success written all over you, and the way to get there is to make sure that you've got the support system of the people who know your value, which is what? It is unlimited. It is priceless, and you can have those people. Now, having to say that, when you take a look at the imagery on the Ten of Pentacles tarot card, it can be easy to just see at first glance all the coins, all the golden coins, that beautiful radiant sun, wealth, golden energy, and it can be a little more difficult to see past that and see into the happy domestic scene that's going on. There's a family, they're in a large mansion, they got two puppers, playing in the yard, grandpa's coming for a visit. And so, whoever it was of you that asked me, well, a couple of you have asked on the chat, I'm trying to, oh my God, who said that? Maureen, don't say that, Maureen. Anytime somebody says it's like an onion, all I can see in my head is that scene in Shrek, where Shrek and Donkey's like, it's like an onion. And I love me some Eddie Murphy. Oh my God. Anyway, okay. And I'm telling you, the only regret I've ever had, one of the few regrets, is that I didn't get tapped to play Fiona. But then again, I was never a famous star. So, no, it's not picky, Nikki. Or it's not Nick. Dang it. Whoever just said be picky, it's not about that. Instead of thinking of yourself as picky, think of yourself as deserving of the best. See, picky implies narrow this, right? Picky implies that. Opening to accepting the largesse, the this, the whatever you want, and the most of it, that's a different story. Okay, so going back to this card, you know, the family in the yard, the dogs, grandpa, that can be real literal humans, or it can just be symbolic of things. Like right now I have a couple of people in my life that are these women, sweet mother of the goddess. If I'm ever half the women and wise women these women are, I'll be like, I'm Superman, because they're just crazy. So you might have, even though it's a grandpa in this card, it may just portend of ancient wisdom, whether it's masculine or feminine. It may portend of, you know, seeking out ancient wisdom, or seeking out the advice or wisdom of an elder or whatever, right? Okay. When you take a look at the Ten of Pentacles, a lot of readers will just gloss over it as the money thing, but it's a lot more intricate than that. The Pentacles, if you notice the arrangement, you know, and again, we're talking about the Ten of Pentacles card, okay, the Ten of Pentacles tarot card. The Pentacles are arranged in a pattern called the Tree of Life. And that represents the universe on all the levels of consciousness, right? Physical, subconscious, emotional, intellectual, spiritual, which, Nikki, by the way, and those, you know, a bunch of you others, let me just say this. I've been reading a long time. I've literally had 2 clients in all the time ask me if they were going to be able to find the person that was X, Y, and Z and emotionally intelligent. So when you're asking for, and let me tell you, the universe will order you up. And that's your message for today. Again, it doesn't matter what's on your mind. You can order from the universe like a sushi menu. You want this person to be a certain height? Okay. You want them to have a certain hair color? Okay. You want them want them this? Okay. Just be careful what you ask for, right? No joke, y'all. I made a list of 100 things that I wanted in someone, and I put it on my altar at home. 2 weeks later, I literally ran into my ex-husband, my second ex-husband. Nice guy, great guy. We were ill-fated together, but as friends, you wouldn't find two. I mean, I've got some dear, amazing friends in my life, and there are a few that I know would take a bullet. He would dive right in there. Oh yeah. That said, again, we were ill-fated, but no matter what you want, this card tells you that's it. You've got the Tree of Life. It's there. You can have it. The wealth is right in front of you, and it's inside of you. Now, that Think and Grow Rich thing that people man, that irks me. It's not, what? Think and Grow Rich? That's like taking a look at this card and going, oh, you have money on the way. Okay. What does that really mean? Okay. How are you going to think and grow rich if you have these patterns that are like, need to be healed? Because no matter if you think about it, but you don't feel it, you don't see it, you don't hear it, you don't taste it, you don't smell it, you're just thinking about it. No. Good luck with that. Now, here's the thing. In the Ten of Pentacles tarot card, when you take a look at the stone arch, it's a gateway between the spiritual and physical worlds. And look at the carvings on it. It's got scenes and symbols of natural and moral law. And the lesson there is that the Ten of Pentacles, it's a good life that's rewarded with material and spiritual wealth. Here's my favorite thing also. I got a bunch of freebies I'm working on just to give away, just because I think y'all would like them. I just need to get it formatted, into a PDF and an ebook. But I've got a whole free tarot guide, how to read tarot, coming out. It's free. It's free. I don't even remember how many words in it. It's pages and pages and pages and pages. But it's free because I think that'll help y'all. I think it will help other people. I got other stuff that I'm making, like a spirit animal checklist and a this and a that, because I'm called to give you all tools that are told to me would be helpful, and I'm not going to nickel and dime people, 50 cents for this, $2 for this, $10 for this. That's craziness. Why? That's just crazy. And in return, I, I, I can't even tell you the gifts that come to me personally and professionally on a daily basis. I don't even know. Like, I don't even know. Right? Okay. That's the stone archway in the Ten of Pentacles. I simply listen to what Spirit tells me to do, and I'm like, okay, la 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 la. And if I'm resistant to it, I got to figure out, did I hear it the wrong way? Am I seeing it through filters? What is my resistance? And then we work past that and we go on about our merry business. That's the stone archway in this. It's also moral law. There is a person that I could get a lot of help from. This person does not match, they do not align in my moral compass. And I've had a number of people say, so what? The result of this would actually be this, so doesn't that negate it? Not in my mind. Nope, doesn't. There's always a different way to go about things. It's kind of like when clients tell me that they're having an affair because their partner, their husband, their spouse or whatever is also having an affair or did also have an affair. What does one have to do with the other? What does one have to do with the other? Only you can determine how you want to move through this world and the energy you want to send out. Because people talk a lot about karma, but at the end of the day, karma is electricity. Nobody ever feels truly good when they're skeeting around anything at all. It doesn't matter. It can be about anything. At your core, your conscious human 3D mind, your reptilian brain might be telling you, well, I'm doing this because of this. And you might think, that's right, darn it. But in your heart, in your spirit, in the subconscious way that you tucked way back there in your conscious mind, you know it ain't you don't do it. There you have it. This card is a lot of that. So if for any of you all that are out there considering doing something that really does go against your real true moral compass, don't do it. Don't do it. And don't not do it because you know the rewards are coming. Don't do it because once you do something, say something, see something, hear something, you cannot make it go away. Ever. It doesn't work that way. Now, when you take a look at the human figures on the Ten of Pentacles tarot card, that represents the circle of life. And again, it's that trinity. It's the childhood, adulthood, old age, maiden, mother, crone, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, all that kind of thing. It's a holy trinity. Remember that. Now, in this tarot card, the man and the woman are inside the ark. They're focusing on their accomplishment, each other. But the kid's playing with the dogs, right? Which the dogs have their attention on the old man. I see the Ten of Pentacles card come up a lot when clients are starting on their spiritual journey. And that child always reminds me of the Fool. I'm young, I'm stepping out, I'm taking a leap of faith. And it's just another calling. This Ten of Pentacles, the meaning, the symbolic meaning is telling you you're on the right path. And if you don't have an elder or you don't have a sage or you're not, reading ancient texts or that kind of thing. And when I say ancient, I've got these 2 books that I'm reading right now. This guy put out in the 70s. They're brilliant. It's about the chakras. When he faded somewhere in the late 70s, maybe early 80s, only the people that dig as deep as I do to find this information. You've never seen anybody teach about the chakras the way this fella does. Stephen Eligio Gelagos. I apologize. I didn't know I was going to be talking about him. The book is not at the ready. I don't have it, but it's Stephen, Stephen Elegios, Stephen Eligios. I'll find it. I'll put it in the thing. Anyway, I want free reading. Okay, Spots. Take a girl out to dinner first. That's not how this works. Goodness. Great googly moogly. I want a lot of things. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry to be fussy about that, but come on now. You know what? We're done here. Hurry up. Oh, you're a troll. Okay. I get it now. It takes me a little while. You're gone. Bye-bye. Okay, hurry up. Oh, Lordy. I got a reading for you. Wait till I pull a few of the cards. I've got a reading for you. I'm sending black flies. Just so you know, when you notice more flies around you than normal, that's what you notice. That's what you'll get. Kind of like the Grinch does in The Grinch. Okay. However, if you take a look, there's 2 white dogs. That's innocent spirituality. But if you look real close, there's a 3rd dog. You can hardly see it because the fur matches the old man's robe. It's so perfect. You've got to really, really look. And the symbols on the robe and the dog, they point to a higher destiny. And what that means is whatever you're being called to bring into the world. Okay. It's beautiful. Let's say you want to have a cake decorating business. Let's say you want to be a preacher. Let's say that you want to have a shoe shine thing. Let's say you want to have a taco cart. It doesn't matter, and I'll tell you why. One of the greatest experiences that I am most grateful for in my life, and there's an article about it on my site, and it's called What an Autistic Guy Taught Me About Unconditional Love, that kind of thing. I was standing in a line at Publix, and this story is relevant. I'm not just going off like one of the older people do. They just go off on stories. I promise you it's relevant to the dogs, to this card, and this. Because you can learn from anybody, and who's not to say that people that, have chosen to come in this world with Downs, functioning or at a very high level, autism, any of the things that others of us label as challenged, man, that irks me. It irks me. They're not challenged. They're challenged based on the way we live things, the way we want to do things. But their reality is their reality. And that's what they chose to do for lots of reasons. Personally, I think they're all angels. I'll tell you why. I'm standing in Publix. It is busy as heck. And I'm thinking to myself, what the heck did I come to Publix for on a game weekend at 11 o'clock on a game weekend? Oh my Lord. And there are babies screaming and crying, and there are moms crashing carts into each other. And I'm like, stop the madness. And all of a sudden, the line over, this baby shrieks. I peeked around to see if this kid needed resuscitation or something. You only ever hear those blood curdling cries when someone's in trouble. He was just throwing a temper tantrum. This kid was holding on to this lollipop he had snatched off the shelf. It was awful. And then I noticed the bag boy starting to do this. Had his head cocked to the side. He's doing this. He's bagging. But I'm watching his eyes. If you've ever been around horses, you know minutes before other people do when a horse is about to lose their poo, because their eyes go frantic. And it's usually a very quick, but I see things like that in slow motion. And so I was like, he is fixing to, So I put all my junk there, and I pulled my cart up with him, and I said, hey. And I looked down at him. I said, I tapped on the little thing, and he looked up at me, and I said, how are you today? He said, I'm okay. How are you? And he's still doing this. Anyway, he looked down at my shirt, and I was wearing this shirt with like this, you'll see the picture of it on my site, but I got it at Mellow Mushroom. So it's like this cat sitting on a cannabis leaf, and all this, psychedelic stuff's going on around this cat. He said something like, well, that's an interesting shirt, or something. And I said something back to him. I don't remember. I want to get through this story quickly. Anyway, and he and the cashier and the cashier was about to lose her poo too. We just all started laughing. Well, we laughed so loud, all of a sudden, a hush, it got quieter up at the registers. And I watched all the cashiers and the bag people go, right? Because someone was laughing, and the tension was mounting everywhere. And that kid felt it. I could tell he was a really sensitive person, an empath. And now, and I don't know if you guys know this, but when there's rocking going, that's never a good sign. That's, you've got to ramp people down. That's whether they're autistic or Downs or anything or not, because people will unconsciously rock when they, see, I'm starting to get all hot up in here. Okay. So anyway, so this fella says, can I help you out with these? And I said, yes, you can. And I'll help you by saying, yes, you can. He knew what I meant. He laughed. He said, thank you. So we go out, and I turn around to him and I said, I couldn't do your job, not for love or money. I don't know how you deal with people, and I bet people treat you because you're autistic, right? He said, yeah, I've got autism. And I said, I bet they treat you maybe not as nice as they might. And he goes, yeah, they do. He said, but you know, I just try to be nice to everybody. And what I've noticed is that they're always nice to me in return. I got schooled. I got schooled. Yes, I did. I got schooled. And that's what this card is all about. You've got to get schooled. You've got to look for the wise people. You've got to be open to wisdom every minute of every day in every way. For all I know, that kid is a God sent from wherever, whatever. He's lived 1,000 gajillion lives, and the accumulated wisdom in that kid, because whether he was taught that or he reasoned it or a little bit of both, he's choosing to do it. That's emotional intelligence. That's wise. Now, the Ten of Pentacles is upright in this reading, and so there's nothing really more to go through. And so what I want to see is, does anybody have any questions about the Ten of Pentacles as regards their own life? So let me scroll down here in the chat. Okay. Yeah, we are going to do that. Otumba Ifraka Rara. Yes. Inbox you. I've got some inboxes for you. Blocked. Y'all. What's wrong with you? Okay. Dawn. Hey, Dawn. We are the sap that feeds the trees. I'm the sap. That's for dang Skippy, sure. When we stop flowing, the tree stops growing. That's for real. True. That is for real. Rosa Lipke, I owe you an email. I've got to get it. Okay. I'm a rocker too. Yep. I always say to people, rock me like a hurricane. All right. Anybody got any questions? Oh, Amy, is my community here where I live, or will I need to move to find my tribe? I do feel like you want to move anyway. I don't like the energy around you feels very flat. Like there's not a lot of energy around it. I don't really like the energy, but you don't have to move to find your community. I mean, I found my community online, and some, you know, I'm friends IRL in real life with some of those people now. But yeah, it's not even about you finding your community where you are. It's just the whole thing about where you are. It's stagnant. It's stagnant. I don't like the energy around where you live. Okay. Amy Pittman. Honey, Amy, she drew 2 of the same cards this morning. Listen, let me tell you something. Amy, you have yet to see how synced up you and I are, which is what I've been trying to tell you for years. You're just now getting it. This is why I've been telling you for years about your path, about your this, about your that. But you had to come to it, honey, in your own good time. When it was right for you, it's right for you now. And we'll talk about that a little more. Because you ain't done. There's something you thought you were done with. No, you're not. And I know you're not. La, 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 la. Okay. I stay away from people who continuously try to block me. Yeah, don't even put your Wonder Woman bracelets on, CKNUL. Yeah, get gone with that nonsense. Okay, little C, big C. Am I being drawn to green witch type stuff? Is that the path I should focus on? Yes, absolutely. You already do. Oh, little C, big C. You already do. You already do focus on it. If you need to give it a label, call it a green witch. And listen, there's a lady named Ann Mora. She lives just out of Orlando. She and her daughter have the cutest. It's an old Florida cracker house that they've made into a witch's cottage, which is it's a metaphysical store, and they've got all kinds of witchy, Wiccan, herby kind of stuff, and all kinds of like angelic stuff in there. I mean, it's a really, really well done metaphysical store. I love it. But yeah, so yeah, just step into it. Any message for me? So Cicely, you got to ask me a specific question, please. And that's going to be based on these cards, which so far, well, right now we're talking about the Ten of Pentacles card. Okay, Tanya, Maureen, Tanya, I've got a question. Will you sing again? Oh, you mean, will I sing professionally again? No, no. Listen, it's not, I don't have the time. It's not what I'm drawn to now, but still, all the damage done by when I was sick in 2019 and going into 2020, I can't hit the notes and everything that I used to hit. and I can't sustain like I used to. So I play with it. I mean, I'll sing for y'all anytime you want me to, but and it's very kind of you. I do love singing, but I have to tell you something. One of the world's Gypsy Nana, that was my first store-bought book, Green Witchcraft. That's cool. Right now, do you have Tanya, do you have a request? Is there a song you want to hear? If I know it and I can sing it, I will. I mean, I won't sing the whole song. And listen, let me tell you something, yes. The only reason that I sing is not to get attention. I swear to you, believe me. I'd rather sit up here and tell y'all jokes. I'll go right through my 2-hour routine for y'all any day you want as a comic. But the only reason that I sing is I really do find that the throat chakra, and it's, we're talking about, I'm only going to sing Dancing Queen if you'll back it up with me. Because that song is much better in harmony. Ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding. Have you all ever seen the movie Connie and Carla? Please, I'm begging you, watch the movie Connie and Carla. It is the campiest thing ever, but they are these two best friends. They're the biggest dorks. And please watch the movie. These girls end up, it's kind of like Victor Victoria. If you guys have ever seen the movie with Julie Andrews, Victor Victoria, where she wasn't having any success as a woman. So she starts dressing as a man. And all of a sudden she's having all this, because she's an opera singer and she gets all this attention and she becomes famous and everything. And Connie and Carla is based on the same premise, but they turn into drag queens and they end up with their own big hoopty in LA. It's the funniest movie, please. And they do ABBA songs like nobody's business. It's awesome. Okay, so the reason I sing is because mostly I find that people have a lot of blocks are in the throat chakra. And so if I'm being told to be brave enough to just, sing a bit of a tune every now and again, that will help you all have the bravery to just say what you want to say, in whatever manner it is that you want to say it. And sometimes you're going to snarl it out and growl it out, and sometimes you're not, and but to have the courage to do that. Okay. Oh my God, Nikki, let's do it. We'll do a video of backing it up. Okay. My name is supposed to be doing that. I received. Thank you. Emily, will me and my fiance be able to get pregnant with a baby soon? I don't know what soon means. Okay, Emily, I'm going to go with the first thing, and that is, like, what you're feeling about your calling, it's because it's already been written for you to have children, multiple children. But you are not ready right now. If you were honest with yourself, there's just like one more thing you want to get done and get tucked away or get organized or okay, well, this is here. And now, okay, I've got this not completed, but you've got it, not completed, but you've got it, organized. And once you have whatever this thing is organized, you're going to be ready to start churning them out, baby. Lordy, Ricky, thank you so very much. Ricky Green, thank you very much for the donation. That is really, really kind of you. And just so you all know, I don't ever ask for donations, but when you're gracious enough to give them, 50% of what everybody gives here goes to the animal charities I support, and which one of them is Animals Asia. Bile bear farming. I won't go into it. I am supporting a pig named Bernie at the farm. Lord, what, I can't think of their name right off the head. But for decades and decades, it's an organization in California. They were one of the first to start saving factory farm animals, and I am the personal support of a pink pig named Bernie. And Gentle Carousel, you guys know that they're near and dear to my heart. They have the miniature horses, and they go into emergent situations. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Okay, Lisa, am I on the path to now being a full-time spiritual coach? Yes. However, yeah, thank you again, Ricky. That is really generous. Thank you so much. Yes, however, you're still not confident. I'm stepping into my heart chakra, like I was pulled from my throat chakra down to here. You're not confident. Like, I'm not really sure. And it's interesting because I'm being told it's not that you're not confident about what you do as a spiritual life coach or how you do it. Or, I mean, you're not confident. you're confident about how to market, how to get clients out of this. You're still not 100% confident in your ability. Like, you're not sure that you're deep enough, solid enough, this enough, but you are. And really the only thing that you're not is that you're not confident. But if you just, turn the beat around, bum, 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 bum. Now I want some sangria and to do some salsa. Yeah, if you would just get to a place where you can be authentically confident. And the other thing, something that might help you with that helps us all, is if we can be confident that the universe is only going to send us people that vibe with us in the moment. So, like, if you're a beginner at that, or even if you got a little bit of experience, the people that need you are going to come to you, right? Okay. Emily, I need a root canal. They told me I have to get it fixed before pregnancy. And that's why they call it being psychic. Ta-da! And listen, Emily, let me tell you something about that. When you get that root canal, I'm not a medical professional of any kind. I am not. Don't let them put any kind of metal in your tooth. Please don't. And also, make sure that you purge like you do a detox, because the junk that they use to numb you will stay in your body for years, and they don't tell you that, but it does. So do a detox before you start trying to get pregnant. I forget who, oh Lordy, I forget who I was answering, but, the spiritual life coach. So that's the story. Okay. Itzia. Hey, Itzia, how do you get those cool fonts to show up in here? That's really cool. Am I on the right path, and will I grow spiritually? You need me to answer, are you going to grow spiritually? Yes, you will, because you already are. You're only blocked to the spiritual part is, I don't know that you're so much a believer in metaphysics yet. You think it's fun. You do kind of sort of see the magic, but I don't know that you think it's real. Once you get to that and you realize that metaphysics and spirituality are the same thing, you'll be good to go. And are you on the right path? No. It's too narrow. Like, the subject is right, the goal is right for you, but it's too narrow. And what that means is, let's say that someone swears up and down that they're just an empath and not a psychic. I'm like, prove to me the difference. No one can, because there's no difference. There's no difference between being an empath and being a psychic. Period. The mechanisms are the same. The mechanical operation is the same. The outcome is the same. If you call yourself a psychic and you don't do professional readings, that still doesn't make you not a psychic. Some people try to tell people they're professional empaths. What? No one's looking for a professional empath. They're looking for professional psychics and tarot readers and mediums. Why don't you think you're that? Well, I'm just intuitive. I'm not psychic. What? What's the difference? Come on now. So I keep hearing that with you, Itzia. And Itzia, if I may, you're the kind of person that you've got to be, almost like you've got to be pushed to be pissed off. And once you get angry, you're like, that. And that's when you fly. I don't know, get one of your friends to piss you off, get a teacher to piss you off, do something, but you got to break down that barrier. You got to break past that barrier, because whatever this is you do, and also in a healing way, you're more powerful than you're not equating the force of your personality with the power of your healing abilities, and you've got quite the forceful personality. So once you get that holistically taken care of in your mind, you're good to go. Okay. Oh, you do free angelic readings and tarot readings. Why are they free? That's all I have to say. Okay. What, Rosa? Okay, CCanUL, someone's using your account? I don't know what that means. Ugh. I'm sorry. If I can help, let me know. Okay, Rosa, what path are you supposed to be on? Oh, that's a conversation. Oh, wowzers. Rosa, what path are you supposed to be on? Rosa, I feel like I feel like I feel like you're the person who's started this and then left this to do this and then left this to do this, and now I'm interested in this, but wait, I'm interested in this, but oh, I'm interested in this, but oh, I'm interested in this. I, I don't know why you think that's a bad thing. You're accumulating wisdom and experience from so many different facets, like you're doing it in a holistic manner. I don't know that you're meant to be on one path. If I may, and I assume when people, I should probably announce this, but I assume if people put a question and they want me to for real answer like a for real psychic, you don't want me to tap dance around and tell you all just love and light stuff that, blow your skirts up in the air. I'm not equipped to do that. I won't do that. So I won't go too far. But Rosa, I just feel like, what I do feel like is there's some kind of money thing around you. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't know what it is, but for the immediate, your path needs to be fixing whatever that is that's going on financially. I don't know what it is, but immediately I've got a headache, so I feel like it's causing you a fair amount of stress, and I would really encourage you to get whatever the thing around coin, wealth, finances, get it straightened out. That's your path right now, and once you figure that out, please, the world is your oyster. Don't tell me not to live, just sit and put Okay, I'm practicing. You don't feel like an expert yet. I don't know what you think expert is, Itzia, but nobody's an expert. I've been doing this for 30 years. Okay, Dragon, I'm going to answer your last question. Then for anybody who wants to stay, I'm going to stay, and I'm going to go through this last card. I'm going to Dragon Path. Which path in love should I take? Whatever one, no joke. Whatever path is going to, hey Louise, shoot Louise, I didn't see your, dang it, I didn't see your question. Louise, Facebook me and I'll pull a couple cards for you. All the way from your kibbutz in, where, I don't remember. She lives far, far away in a kibbutz. It's the most fascinating thing I ever heard of. Which path should I take? I keep seeing that maybe Dragon Puff, that where you come from wasn't quite nearly as cohesive and family as you would like it to have been. And so whatever path is going to take you toward creating the family that you really want, like true family, that's where you should go. You're perfectly capable of being an amazing addition to someone else's family and creating one of your own. But I keep hearing there's something around family, and you just maybe didn't have it wasn't quite right for you, the family growing up. Okay, so I'm moving on. We're clearing that energy. Woo, that headache got to me, y'all. And I shake, rattle, and roll. Shake, rattle, and roll. I do that because my moon bear, has got crystals in it, and I needed I think that's why I grabbed this puppy. I don't normally bring a crystal to the readings. Well, I say that. They're all around me. I might as well have a crystal store for every one of them that are around me. But, yeah, this is like, it's my thing. It's my new unicorn horn. I swear I'm going to get something made where I can strap this thing to my head. You watch me. I will. Okay. All right. So listen, we're going to move on to the Seven of Cups. Now, when you talk about the Seven of Cups in a traditional tarot card reading, and again, I'm using Rider-Waite Smith as the, my deck. I use my deck to read, Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck. And, but it is based on the Rider-Waite Smith tarot card system. And so when the Seven of Cups comes, that card is about dreams. If you look at the symbolism of the card, you'll see this little boy standing in front of 7 cups. They've each got something coming out of them. And that's really all of your dreams. How many dreams do you have? Everybody got to have a dream. And I don't remember what movie that's from, but it's a great movie. And so I think it's Trading Places. Also a hilarious movie. I watch it every Christmas. So, it can also be about deception. We can get so carried away with this one thing that we don't get what we really want, what our dreams really are, or why we really have those dreams. Now, remember the cups is part of the minor arcana, and the suit of cups symbolizes your emotion. It's the most immature of all of the suits, right? Pentacles being the most mature, because Pentacles is what brings in the earth, air, fire, water, spirit, and blends. It's a holistic card, right? And then somewhere in the middle, the debate ranges. You know, the debate is are swords fire or are they air? Are wands fire or are they air? I don't get caught up in all of that. You decide for yourself. And for me, it's different in each reading. But what I know is that a whole bunch of y'all in here, you needed this morning, you needed the cart put in front of the horse, because you needed to know that whatever this is that you're concocting or dreaming up is going to happen. Okay. But the Seven of Cups asks you to now put the horse in front of the cart because it's inverted. Now, overall, the symbolism, the tarot card meanings of the Seven of Cups is that it's about passion that gets your motor running, right? Okay, but you've got to use it wisely or it'll consume you. It's like gasoline. Okay, look. You put a bunch of gas in your tank and it'll take you from New York to Philly, and then you got enough gas left to explore around the city, right? Great. But you spill it on the ground and somebody lights a match and it's over. Let me just say, for those of you that are sticking out with me this morning, oh gosh, mods, oh y'all, mods, I forgot to tell y'all this. I never expect you to stay long. I never expect you to do that. It's on me when I run late. So if y'all need to leave, I totally get that. And so it's true. I did not have Dragon Puff. It's true. I did not have a loving home growing up. I am sorry that you didn't, Dragon Puff, and we're happy to be your family. We're kooky, so you gotta like kooky. But you are very welcome part of the wild pack. And so all of that being said, Ruve Reedy, bye girl, breakfast first. Okay, and so Rosa, I'm sorry, I did not send you that headache, I promise. Where I'm going with this is that I forgot. Hold on, I'm way deep into the Seven of Cups. It's a water card, and the water cards always make me like this. Let me think of where I was at. I don't know. Let me just move on and then I'll come back to where I was. Oh, gas. Okay. Let me just say to you all, spiritual workers, light workers, counselors, nurses, massage people if they're not careful, definitely counselors, anybody in any kind of healing modality, or anybody that is an empath, which I contend that every single living thing is empathic. It's just the degree to which that you are, or you want to be, or you be open. Okay, we'll get into that story another day. That said, you've got to be careful. You cannot give water from an empty well. And when that well is empty, it's the same as if somebody poured you out on the ground like gasoline, right? That gasoline that you had, that gas in there was fueling you. You overflowed. Now you're all diluted, running around on the ground, and somebody goes, pfft. Case in point. You know, I know other readers don't share personal things. I know that. And there are some people that have written me and said, it's not really professional. To who? Here's why I think it's professional. Because I'm no spiritual leader at all. I don't aim to be. I don't intend to be. It's not what I claim. It's not what I do. I'm just Bernadette, and I do the work that I do. And I'm telling you, ain't none of y'all ever made a mistake that I probably hadn't made. Ain't none of y'all. Or some version of that mistake. And there are, I believe, spiritual leaders who truly have gone through this lifetime making a lot less mistakes or less great choices, less not great choices, but they're few and far between. And most of us come to this work because we're wounded healers. That's a fact. We've been through something traumatic, probably a number of things traumatic, whether self-created or whatever, and you wouldn't be doing this. And so the desire to help others, to help them learn, to help them experience the healing that it can drain you right out, to the point that yesterday, and I just feel like it's more relatable if I tell y'all personal stuff. So if it seems unprofessional, I got nothing. It's what I do. It's how I'm going to do things. It is what it is. Yesterday, I sat down in my chair. Okay, mind you, it was my big comfy recliner. I'm just going to take 5 minutes. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. 3. grabbed my dog, crawled to bed. Thank goodness I set my alarm. Oh, wait, my alarm is my cats. I don't really have to set them. 6:30 this morning, they woke me right up. But yesterday, I had just run out of gas. So I'm telling you, when I see this card, I always know that whatever the person is involved in, they're fitting to, or they're about to, or they've run out of gas. So when this card is inverted, there are a couple of things going on here. Now, again, going back to the traditional tarot card meanings of the Seven of Cups, it's just a beautiful card. It ties in so perfectly and amazingly with these other two cards for this reading today. And again, if you're watching this video, and I'm recording this video at June 18th on 2021, it may be 2022. It might be 2030 and you're watching this video or beyond. Believe me, you were supposed to see this at right this moment in your life for whatever the reasons are. It's meant to be. You're supposed to take away from it, right? Meaning, get the lessons, get the omen, get the whatever. Okay. Fantasies are not the same as dreams. And so the Seven of Cups really asks you to consider, with whatever you've got rolling around in your head that makes you smile or gasses you up, revs your engine, ignites your passions. Are they fantasies or are they dreams? And really, the choice is yours. The choice is yours. As long as it stays in the light. Don't make me go into an explanation about that. I know you know what I mean. As long as it stays in the light. Now, you can have all the ecstatic fantasies you want as long as they stay fantasies. Case in point. Now, I'm not a big sports fan, but let's say I woke up tomorrow and said, I really feel like I'm called to be a professional women's basketball player. I'm not Rudy. Okay? You know the movie Rudy? He wasn't the right size. He didn't whatever, but he was a guy and he was the right age and whatever, and he worked his patootie off. It's a true story, and he became a football player. It's what he wanted. That's not a fantasy. That's somebody who's ready to do the work, which is what this card means in this reading today, because remember, for today, the Seven of Cups came to you inverted. We're going to get a little more about that. But if you're doing that's not going to happen. It wouldn't matter how much I practice, how much I'm not ever going to become a professional female basketball player for any myriad of reasons. Any myriad of, the first of which starts with, I'm a terrible sports person. Now, you give me a tetherball or a badminton, I'm on it. I'm on it. Anything else, it's a hot mess. Oh, I'm a hot mess. Okay, but the Kabbalists call the Seven of Cups tarot card the Lord of Illusory Success. And it's a double, triple-edged thing, meaning don't get caught up in what you think that you're being called to do that's really just a fantasy. But neither should you think that your dreams are just fantasies and not make them come true. That's the whole point of this card. You've got to figure it out. Because what you think is a dream that's really a fantasy could turn into your biggest nightmare. No joke. I know people that are in their 60s, living in Hollywood, still living stories of how a studio stole their story, or so-and-so got a role over them when they were in their 20s. It's 40 years later. Get over it. Now, those were not illusions that they had. That's what they never got. They had excuses why they didn't make their dreams come true. That's not an explanation. An explanation is not the same thing as an excuse. It's just not. So that's on them. Maybe somebody should have drawn the Seven of Cups tarot card for them, and if they were in the place to hear it. Now, in this card, Venus and Scorpio, again, cups are about the emotions. So in the Seven of Cups tarot card, you've got Venus and Scorpio, and now that's infusing your consciousness with overpowering emotion. Excellent. You ever wanted something so bad you could literally taste it? Like literally? That's the energy of this card. That is the energy of the Seven of Cups card. Now, it might all end up being smoke and mirrors, but that's where you've got to make the decision. You've got to get the download from the divine, right? Clouds on this card, they symbolize divine communication. You know, in other Cups cards and all the other suits, but in all the other suits, in the suit of Cups, They warn of illusion and deception. So anytime you're working with any of the minor arcana, the suit of cups, any clouds you see, that could be warning you, alerting you to self-deception. Don't do it. Now, the cups on the left are filled with symbols of like material things, sex, security, wealth. The ones on the right in the Seven of Cups, that's about your emotional needs, knowledge, power, success, safety, whatever. But the cup in the center of the Seven of Cups is the most dangerous because that contains the illusions of spiritual enlightenment. The female figure in the cup is veiled, very much like the High Priestess in the Major Arcana, but her red aura shows she's only a projection of her own desires. It's much easier than you think determining between a real dream and an illusion. And in one of those ways is if it's still real, it will be there tomorrow. Nothing will deter you. Unless I love to live in fantasy land. I fantasize every day that I have a bear sanctuary and every day I'm surrounded by bears and bears and bears and bears, and they're protected and they're saved and they're, living their life in ginormous enclosures where they're free to roam for acres and acres and acres. And, and one day when I'm 110, somebody walks in and is like, where's Bernadette? And they find me, dead in one of the fields with the bears just sitting by me. That's a fantasy I live every day. It's not a reality, right? Okay. It's not a reality. Now, let me just say this. I want to go back and I want to say this again because this card is a very big deal about this. The Seven of Cups, the center of the Seven of Cups, is the most dangerous card of all. It contains the illusion of spiritual enlightenment. Okay. You may think you're spiritually enlightened, but I find that many people, in my experience, in my reality, that have thought they were spiritually enlightened were actually very passive aggressive. Very passive aggressive. And they would use, unbeknownst to them sometimes, most of the time, they would use what they think is their heightened sense of spirituality. They're at a higher level than you are. So they're going to talk to you in very simple spiritual terms like, let me think for a minute. Let's say you're talking about something that's come up in your friendship. And they say something like, I can see you're very triggered by this. I can see this makes you angry because of X, Y, and Z. So I hope that what I'm about to say will help, soothe that anger or this and this, and they come out with some kind of spiritual anything. You have no idea what triggered me. No, you don't. I'm not there for a psychic reading. We're having a discussion. You don't know what triggered me or why. How about you ask me before you pass judgment on it? And I didn't ask you for a healing. I didn't ask you to mend anything on me. How about you ask me before you hand me your lofty spiritual opinion? How about we're supposed to be having a mediation, a conversation between people? Okay? Here's my other favorite. This is my biggest favorite. You tell somebody something you're angry with or that hurt your feelings, and they say, how can we heal this together? That's your first reaction? My next question always is, can you see what I'm talking about? That blows their minds. Can you understand, can you receive your actions in this moment seemed this way? Is that what you intended? They won't answer. Because if they answer, they've got to look at their demons. They don't answer. They'll simply come back with, what can I do to make this right? Nothing, unless you think something has to be made right. Do you think something, well, you're angry or you're hurt, so of course something has to be made right. Okay, can you identify what has to be made right? It's such a circular thing. After a while, even with my closest friends, I'm like, okay, we're done here. I love you no matter what. Just don't do it again. What does that mean? Nothing. 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 They don't even know what they did the first time. Right? They don't even know what they did the first time. And I don't even know that I was feeling the right way, because it matters to me what their intention was. I don't care what anybody says or done. What was your intention? What was your intention? That's me. You may have something different, but I'm telling you now, this card is a big deal about that. Now, inverted, the Seven of Cups tarot card, its meanings and symbolism and omens and, whatever. All the dreams that you have, all the fantasies that you have, they're pouring out into the world to take physical form. Now, that could be cool for some fantasies, and that could be great for some dreams. But also, like, think of it like bubble bath, right? Like, they're pouring out of the world like bubble bath, and that bubble bath can either transform you, or the bubbles can dissipate like they were never there. So how that will manifest in your life is, once this card comes inverted, and that's why the beaver wanted to be the Seven of Cups, because a beaver only works at what benefits them. They're not out, of course they're floating around and they're having fun in their rivers and with their families and this and that, but when it comes down to work, that's why they call it busy as a beaver. And so when this card shows up for people and it's inverted, I know that whatever their dreams are desperately trying to work through them, because remember now, you're the sacred vessel. You are the cup in the suit of cups. It doesn't matter whatever other symbolism is in that tarot card. You're the cup. And that sacred mission, that dream, that whatever is trying to flow through you, to pour out of you, to take root in this world. And you're off doing other things. But a beaver can't do that. Because if a beaver did that, a beaver would be building their dam and they'd have no place safe to stay. That's not good. And let me just say this about safety. Okay? Pardon me. Readings, man, they light me up. It is I'm just going to say it. You can't know what it's like to grow up a poor child. Well, you might know what it's like, but in the South, and your mom was divorced and you grew up in the deep South, and then you start telling people you want to go to Hollywood and be an actress, and you're fat and you've got crappy clothes and your hair is always a hot mess and you've got cystic acne. Yeah, that was me. And now I'm telling people I want to be an actress. Okay. Can you imagine the ridicule? Can you imagine? Fortunately for me, all it did was piss me off. Ooh, that disturbed the demons of this triple Scorpio. But that was on the outside. On the inside, I really thought they were right. And I had no confidence in myself. I didn't believe, I didn't this, I didn't that. And a number of things changed in my life to convince me differently. And I went on to live very much of my original dream. And I will be grateful for that every day in every way, especially to my own spirit. And that is what the Seven of Cups, when it's inverted, it is asking you, it is showing you, it is portending, it is prognosticating, it is giving you the omen that when you know what your real dream is, you've got the enormous reservoirs of energy inside of you. You may not even have known they were there. You can't know the courage it took me to go out on my first date. It was the worst. And the next date was the worst. And it was just a string of crap until I got much older. Because of what I thought my dream was at the time in juxtaposition to what I thought I was going to have or be able to have. Because girls like this only get guys like this. That's not true anymore. It never was true. Ever. I care very much about each and every one of you. I mean it. I mean it. The animal allies care very much about each and every one of you. But you've got to show up to care about yourself in the same way. And this card, I just don't even know. Whatever's on your mind, on your heart, you start putting these three cards together in a reading. Okay, this is the order they came in. It is, yada da da yada da. And then Yes, you can have all of this as long as you're willing to do this. That's all this reading is about. We could have been done with these, pick a card tarot reading thing. We could have been done in 5 minutes this morning, but it's more important than that. It's deeper than that. And so you've got to get started right now. Now, that energy that you tap into can be overwhelming. It can be very scary. Why? Why are you scared? It's exactly what you wanted. Why are you scared of it? Just do it. Y'all, I'm going to go, my best friend, or one of my best friends, I talk about him a lot. He and his family own a 100-acre organic farm in Costa Rica. And there are places you can go ziplining in Costa Rica that are like thousands of feet in the air. I'm not a heights person. I'm fixing to go to Costa Rica. I'm a zipline. I'm going to zipline. And I'm going to have a GoPro on me. It's going to be fantastic. So Joel will have to edit out the screaming in the video, but I want to experience that freedom of flight. That's the dream. I've got to be able to step into the energy of that. Now, Bernadette is not going to parachute. I'm not parasailing. I'm not doing any of that. And those crazy people that step out on the, that big glass bridge that they've got, I think it's in China or Japan, and they step out on it and people get vertigo. They vomit, they get scared. I'm not trying to do that because you see, that's not freedom. Now, I'll be strapped into a chair, yes, and I'll be strapped to a line that makes sure I'm not going to plummet to my death. But that's the most free that I can feel, like flying as a bird, that is right for me. This is the same thing. That energy that you're feeling, the largesse of your dream, the largesse of what you want, is it right for you? Of course it is. It wouldn't be coming to you. Now, how do you go about it? What inner reservoirs of courage, of ambition, of power? Forget the first two words, power. What of your power do you tap into? Because I promise you, you got a lot more than you think. Now, that said, keep your feet firmly on the ground, okay? I will come off of that zip lining, and I will be able to put my feet on the ground when I can stand, okay? When my legs can support me. But you fly and then you come back to earth. You fly and then you come back to earth. That's what birds do. There isn't a bird that stays in the air the whole time. It doesn't happen that way. Now, fantasies will dissipate in the light of cold, hard facts. Dreams will not. They will not. So, I encourage you, I'm going to wrap everything up. Your world can be your wildest dreams. Your whole world can be a dream. I'm telling you mine is. And I'm also telling you for many years it wasn't. It wasn't. I didn't know. I didn't have the eyes to see. I didn't have the ears to listen. And in my world, I was surrounded by people who didn't know either. Now, that said, there were people that were put into my life at various and sundry times along the way that did try to get me walking down my metaphysical spiritual path. And I looked at them the way a lot of people will look at you. That's drugs talking. I'm not a hippie. I don't believe in that stuff. It's stupid. It's this. What? That's nonsense. Blah, blah, blah. I had a friend who gave me all the Catherine Ponder books one time. I read the first one, and I toted everything back to her, and I went, first of all, it's written for a 4th grader. There's a lot of repetitive stuff in here. This is propaganda. This is what cults use. I didn't know, as we call it in the South, shiitake mushrooms from Shinola. We don't say shiitake, but I'll just leave it at that. I was wrong, patently wrong. My apologies to Miss Ponder. She was one of the first starts of, law of attraction, that kind of thing. So, all that being said, I hope that is helpful. I really do have to skedaddle. Thank you for hanging in there with this. I hope this has been helpful. Teapot, Maureen, Teapot, you all, sweet, thank you for staying. You didn't have to, and thank you so very, very, very much. And, oh, Lordy, if there's somebody in here that's trying to scam you guys again, I just didn't see them. And so, I love you. Pick up your copy of the Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the ringy-dingy bell thing and get all the alerts. Please share my stuff on social media, please. And also, Joel is going to take, like the tarot stuff that we do, he's going to divide that into 3 separate videos so that you guys can come back and you'll be able to access, like, if you don't want to sit there a whole reading and, hear all these cards, but you'll be able to access the individual cards and what they mean. And I hope that's very, very helpful. So I'm going to leave the chat on because I know you guys like to chitty chat for a little while. I'm going to leave it on, but I got to go. And I love you guys really, seriously, so very much. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I hope it's helpful. I'll see you Monday morning. And what is it? Come on, say it with me. Say it with me. Do good for animals, including yourself, and stay wild. Have a great weekend.